Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pits To Podium. This is myself, Soumil Arora here, and the British GP, man. You couldn't script this one. What a fantastic race it was in the end. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to script this one. Welcome to our top three winners and losers from the British GP. And Kunal, what a race it was in the end. Who was your primary main winner from this week's dramatic British GP?
I mean, the main winner has to be Lewis Hamilton. No way you can deny that. You know, he got his 91st pole, I think. It was the 87th career win. He's pulled out a massive lead in the Drivers' Championship, and he did it all on three wheels. And we've, of course, discussed his, domination in much depth in our post-race debrief. So, you guys can go in and tune into that video on our YouTube channel. But Soumil, without a doubt, Lewis Hamilton, the biggest winner of the first race at Silverstone.
What a superstar Lewis Hamilton is. Even on three wheels, he is, well, just about as dominant, you could say. But let's get down to the next winner. And you can say what you want to about Ferrari. You can make as many jokes as you want to. But Leclerc delivered. He's in a struggling car, yes. He's in an ailing team. But Leclerc came home with the P3 position. Of course, you can say on one side that it needed Bottas and Sainz and all the others to have their punctures. But regardless of that, Leclerc, like Fernando Alonso back in the day, right place at the right time. That's an important quality that you must have. And extracting quite a bit from a rather dismal package is something that great drivers do. So kudos to Charles Leclerc getting the second podium for Ferrari. Again, who would have expected? Considering how things were going at the Austrian GP, we would have never even imagined Ferrari getting two podiums. But here we are. And Leclerc needs to be credited for that. So he is our second winner for this week's British GP.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. And you made a very interesting reference about, Fernando Alonso. And I think something that I've noticed in both these drivers is the fact that, they are able to score far more points than the package actually deserves. And to me, Charles Leclerc has been far more impressive in 2020 than he was in 2019. At least, when you see how well he's doing for a midfield team to be scoring the odd podium. And, he's making it a habit, 2 podiums out of 4 races, right? But, you also mentioned that he's getting lucky with others' retirements. But the fact is, he's making sure he's there in the right place, to pick up the spoils when, the others are sort of throwing it away. So the third winner, in my view, Soumil, has to be the Renault Formula One team. So it's not that they won their protest against Racing Point. Okay, that's far from it. But they far outscored Racing Point at their home races. Of course, it's a home race for both the teams. But, a 4th and a 6th place result, pretty phenomenal for Renault. I think, they deserved a good result after sort of being, feeling a little left out given all these team alliances that are sort of ruling Formula One.
Absolutely. P4 for Daniel Ricciardo, P6 for Esteban Ocon. Again, same argument as with Charles Leclerc as well. They needed those punches to happen, but again, they were in a very, very good position. So full props to Renault for doing what they did in the end. Quite a good result for them. Made even sweeter with the fact that Racing Point haven't really performed well. More of that later on. But special credits to Pierre Gasly as well, because big run of confidence for him. After that podium at the Brazilian GP, there's not much happening for him. AlphaTauri have had a package that's been a bit of on-off. They're competing mostly with Alfa Romeo. Again, Alpha, that's a different thing. But they haven't really been able to extract the most from it. And Pierre Gasly getting a well-deserved 7th place, even though Kvyat has had that crash early on. Big performance by Pierre Gasly. So that may be helping him out and getting that confidence back on track and taking that beautiful AlphaTauri up the order.
Absolutely. Hopefully all of this leads him back into Red Bull Racing and we are able to see a sort of second wind for him in his career as well. Or even if not Red Bull Racing, he could still be a good catch for, another Formula One team on the grid, like, for example, we've seen with Carlos Sainz Jr., But moving on, let's discuss the 3 losers of the British Grand Prix, the first race at the British Grand Prix. The first, in my view, has to be Pirelli. I think, those tire failures are a massive PR disaster for the Italian tire manufacturer. The fact that it happened to 3 out of the top 5, drivers who were leading the, top 5 drivers in the race is even worse, I would say. and just goes to show that the margins are just that much small, even if you are just a single supplier to the Formula One teams.
Exactly. It's a very tricky one. Pirelli have been doing a superb job so far. But one small incident like that can just literally tarnish your image in a matter of minutes. Again, thankless job that being the sole tire supplier. But that supply issue that we had with Pirelli, those blisters coming on the track, they impacted Red Bull Racing a lot more. Again, though I think they are my second biggest losers. Now, and you'll be fair in pointing a finger at me and saying, "But why Red Bull? Max Verstappen got a second place. That's fantastic for them." And we've discussed this in our post-race debrief as well, the lengthy version about why Red Bull were right in pitting Verstappen. Because considering all the data that they had at that point, they made the most fair and objective choice. Again, Hamilton's tire hadn't blown out when Verstappen came in the pit, so they wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known about what to happen next. So fair on their point to try and cover up the third place, trying to get a fastest lap and save up for the blisters as well. But Alex Albon too. It on one side, just this very big what if situation that Verstappen could have won. I'm going to ignore that one because again they made the best decision that they could. But Albon, it is just coming down on him. It seems like he's carrying the weight of the world. I don't like to make him a scapegoat all the time, but he's always in the scrutiny because that Red Bull hot seat, everyone has their keen eye on that, and that crash at Magnussen just doesn't help things out, does it?
Absolutely. I think, the penalty was a little unfair on Albon, but, it was good. He finally scored some points. But, there are three reasons why I think Red Bull need a strong second driver. And I'm just going to quickly list them out. First is, of course, for them to attack, Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. Yes, you can't do that in 2020, but at least, that's something that they would have their eye on for the future. The second is that they need to thwart off any attack that comes from, Ferrari or the lower teams in the Constructors' Championship. Yes, they're, in a comfortable second place, seemingly yet in 2020. But hey, what about 21 and, so on? Yeah. And third, of course, is that they need to have a sort of wingman that allows them more strategy options to help take the fight, to Mercedes drivers for Max Verstappen. At this moment, it's Max against just the two Mercedes drivers, which sort of strategically works or gives Red Bull Racing a far few strategy options. Okay. So these 3 points, but yes, I would agree that Red Bull Racing overall were like the big, big losers of the race in Britain. But the third big loser, I would say, is Valtteri Bottas. Unfortunate for him. I think we've explained in the debrief how he could have and should have been better on in the race, but just unfortunate that he loses 25 points to a left front tire issue.
Exactly. And when you're up against an ace like Lewis Hamilton, you know that you're not going to get any room. You're not going to get any margin, even on the track and even in the championship standing. So more than anything, I think this is a huge blow. It's like a proper sucker punch for Valtteri Bottas because a 25-point gap to someone like Lewis Hamilton that you just lose in one race, that's a big blow. Just ask Nico Rosberg about how tricky it is to overcome something like that one. So Valtteri Bottas on the proper losing end, but racing point from one Mercedes to the other one, it's just been a torrid weekend for them. Firstly, losing Sergio Perez for this next couple of weeks to the isolation period for the virus. Hopefully Sergio gets well soon. That was a big blow. Then having Nico Hulkenberg scuffled into the car, that was a very emergency thing. Again, getting all our expectations back on track. Finally, good to see Nico Hulkenberg. But then he cannot drive. And when the other driver that you have on track, Lance Stroll, when he drives, just has an off day. Just doesn't be on the pace, finishes in P9, even with those punches. And you just kind of wonder, what's happening with him? I mean, it's all close but no cigar.
Absolutely. Tough to see how they will recover from here, apart from, of course, at least helping Nico or Sergio Perez start the race, come next Sunday. But in all, I'm sure they're disappointed they don't yet have a podium. They don't yet have enough points on the board as their package would expect. But, that's it from us in this, winners and losers from the British Grand Prix. Thanks once again, Soumil, for a quick video. And I'm
My
pretty
pleasure.
sure we'll see you all, and I'll see you, Soumil, at the next video in the next couple of days.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining, folks, and see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.